The day began long before the sun appeared, when the African savanna still rested under a blanket of cool darkness. A faint wind moved through the tall grass, carrying scents of earth, animals, and distant trees. In this quiet moment, the Hadzabe people were already awake. They did not rely on clocks or alarms. Their lives followed the rhythm of the land itself. Among them was a young hunter named Tano, standing silently near the edge of the camp, listening. Listening was the first lesson every Hadzabe child learned. The land spoke in subtle ways, through bird calls, through the movement of grass, through the silence that sometimes warned of danger. Tano held his bow loosely, feeling the smooth wood shaped by hands that had repeated the same craft for thousands of years. This bow was not a symbol of power, but of responsibility. Hunting here was not about skill alone. It was about understanding when to act and when not to. As the sky slowly turned from deep blue to soft orange, elders moved quietly through the camp, preparing for the day. Women gathered their tools for finding berries and roots. Children watched and learned, and the hunters met without words, already knowing who would go and which direction they would take. Tano joined two experienced hunters, his uncle Corey and an elder named Sephu, whose knowledge of the land was deeper than memory itself. They walked barefoot, their steps light, careful not to disturb the ground more than necessary. Each footprint mattered, not just for tracking animals, but for avoiding predators. Lions shared this land, and their presence was always understood. The Hadzabe did not fear lions in panic, nor did they challenge them. They respected them as fellow hunters, bound by the same need to survive. As they moved deeper into the savanna, Sephu stopped often, kneeling to read the ground. A broken twig, a shallow hoofprint, a bird suddenly taking flight. These were not random details, but messages. To outsiders, the land might appear empty or harsh, but to the Hadzabe, it was full of meaning. Hours passed in near silence. The sun rose higher, warming the earth beneath their feet. Then, from far across the plains, a low roar echoed. Tano felt it in his chest before his ears fully recognized it. His body tensed, but he did not move. Corey raised a hand, signaling stillness. They waited, listening until the sound faded. The hunters adjusted their path, choosing respect over risk. Eventually, they spotted a small antelope grazing. There was no rush, no excitement. Corey moved with patience, lifting his bow only when the moment was right. The arrow flew clean and true. When the antelope fell, the hunters stood quietly. There was no celebration, only acknowledgement. Sephu spoke softly to the land, thanking it for providing food. Tano watched, understanding that survival here was not about taking life lightly, but about honoring it. They waited, alert, knowing that lions might be drawn to movement or scent. Only when it was safe did they prepare to return. The meat would be shared equally, because survival was a collective effort, not an individual victory. As they walked back toward camp under the bright midday sun, Tano felt something deeper than pride. He felt connected to his people, to the land, and even to the unseen predators moving through the grass. This connection, he realized, was the true strength of the Hadzabe way of life.